In this video, we're going to take a look at the black and white adjustment layer, which is by far my very favorite way to take an image in Photoshop and make it into a black and white image. Now, I have the Penguins JPEG image included with Windows 7 open on my screen right now. You can really use absolutely any image that you like for this example, though. It doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and apply a black and white adjustment layer. It's in the second row of adjustments. It's the fourth one over. We'll click. And there you have it. Our image is now black and white. Now, what is actually going on here? Well, what black and white does, as opposed to just desaturating your image, which is one way to go about making a black and white picture, but clearly not the best way, is that Photoshop is taking each one of your individual colors and giving you the ability to push them toward black or toward white as you see fit. Now, just kind of starting at the top, we have some presets. Some of these are actually pretty cool too. We have things like infrared, which kind of starts to simulate the way infrared film might capture this picture. However, because this is a JPEG and very low quality with a very low bitrate, you will see some funky color banding when you use this. This would be much better to be used with a higher quality image, of course. We have generally darker, we have lighter, etc. But I'm not really here to talk about the presets. You can, of course, play with those on your own. I'm actually going to jump this entire line of stuff for just a moment. I want to get right down here to our various color sliders. The purpose of these is to allow you to select a channel of color and decide whether it's going to be pushed more toward white as you slide it to the right, or more toward black as you slide it to the left. Now, because this image has a lot of cyans and blues, let's play with those first. So as I take my cyans and slide them to the white, you'll see that, slide them to the right, thank you, that they are being pushed toward white, and as I slide them to the left, they are being pushed toward black. Now, the interesting thing about that, again, because this is a low quality image, we really start to expose a lot of that artifacting, so you have to be a little bit aware of that, but for purposes of demonstration, it doesn't really matter too much. The idea, though, is that you just choose which areas you want to be dark, which areas you want to be light, and you tweak things out accordingly. Now, you have an automatic button here, and what that's going to do is analyze your image, and Photoshop will essentially take its best guess to give you the best range of contrasts. However, in this case, and this is kind of a cool way to show it off, you'll notice that the yellow orangey areas at the sides of our penguins' heads, they just, to me, they look strangely out of place. That's a really odd cast of gray to get applied to that area. So we can tweak that by coming over to our yellows and starting to push those toward white, and you see them brighten up like so. And maybe you don't want to have them truly white, just because then it would look just like an extended part of the belly. If you want to suggest to the viewer that those are a different color, then we could just make them a really, really faint gray. But it does look a lot better than that really odd gray that they were just a second ago. And you see how that works. Now, you don't have to really choose an individual slider if you don't want to. Say, for instance, if I click auto again, we see this area just doesn't look right. You know, maybe that's all we know. And because we've been staring at this in black and white for as long as we have, all 7 seconds or whatever, we can't remember what color that is. Well, now we can come over to our little finger tool, which allows us to click and drag on an individual area, and we can click right here on a problem area, and we can just push that toward white by dragging to the right, or push it toward black by dragging to the left. So it's a very, very handy feature that keeps you from having to remember exactly what sliders you're working with. So definitely keep that in mind. And we can do the same with the sky as well, or any area on our image. We just click and drag, and Photoshop knows what color was underneath that, and we adjust that slider intuitively right inside the view. Now, on top of that, we also have the ability to tint an image. Very handy for sepia toning and things like that. Just switch this on, and the default is already sepia toned and ready to go out the door, which is extremely handy. But we can change this tone color to anything we want. So if you want something with a reddish cast, we can do that. Or green, or blue, or anything you like. So that's really all there is to it. Again, the great thing about black and white is it gives you the ability to take individual areas of your image, individual color ranges, and decide whether they should be pushed more toward black or more toward white in a way that just desaturating the image just simply doesn't allow. So you get a whole lot more control this way. Definitely the preferred method for making an image black and white. So that is going to wrap things up for this video. Thank you very much.